Well, we tried for a baby and wasn't very successful. I'd have to do surrogate if I wanted to do it that way or adoption. So we knew that God was leading us toward adoption. The stress of it all was the waiting for us.
Yeah, the not knowing if we were going to get picked this year or next year. And
so we left it in God's hands. And then I got sick. The adoption agency put our profile on hold for 9 months, and I was really upset. I felt like we were being punished because I was sick.
And that was all during COVID too, so it was tough because I wasn't allowed in the hospital when she was going to her doctor visits, her treatments.
So our profile got unlocked after they got a clean bill of health from me, and I was determined to fight for any baby. Daddy.
Come here. Come here.
So I fought hard, and then when it was unlocked, we waited even longer. In September of last year, him and I were getting ready to call it quits. We had moved from Maryland down here, and then we got a phone call from another birth mother, and she was determined to put her baby up for adoption. And we had built a relationship with her for 7 months. And we drove to where she lived, which was 18 hours away.
Yeah.
And we met with her and her family, and they did a gender reveal party for us. And it was a girl, and we were excited. But I got a voicemail because I didn't recognize the show number, so it went to voicemail message from the adoption agency to say that, unfortunately, the birth mother has decided to change her mind after 7 months. And we were like, this can't be right. No, we were with her yesterday. Everything was great. We were talking about, the birth plan. We all cried in each other's arms, and then we jumped in our truck. We drove 18 hours home. Every time he looked at me, I was done. I was crying, and he was crying.
That was the worst drive, I think, anybody. I wish it was shorter because it was a long way, and I was just doing my best. I don't know if I was doing it right.
You're doing everything right. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the adoption agency kept calling, the attorneys kept calling, and basically making her relive that whole situation. Like, hey, what happened? What did the birth mother say? And I'm like, why are you doing this?
We had waited 5 years in the adoption process. And then we were home 6 hours.
Yeah, it was us 6 hours.
The adoption agency kept calling and apologizing on behalf of the birth mom, and has no idea. They were in shock too. I was so mad.
It was a complete 180 getting that call,
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they calling again? And I picked up the phone, and it was on her phone. And I said, oh, hold on, I'll get Mary. And it was a different lady. And I said, oh, I'm running to get her. And she said, oh, you might want to. And she goes, well, there's this...
Wow. Good word.
3-day-old baby that had basically like the storm was gone.
When we were there, they gave us a room the next day, and it was like a flood of nurses came into the room. They gave us a whole birthing room. Is the birth mom she's from Honduras. She doesn't speak English. The translator, the attorney translated us a message from her, and that's what we knew that stand up. She was ours.
She said that she knew that we would give her the life that she couldn't give her.
So the birth mom actually could use a lot of prayers.
Yeah.
She went through.
Okay, it's okay.
We're so grateful for her.
And I remembered Pastor Joe talking about the same kind of story. Original one said no, and then it turned around with another one, and that was, I don't know how many years ago, but he was real happy when we came in with her, and he's like, oh, baby. And I was like, not the original one. And he just kind of dropped, and he's like, uh-oh. So I kind of gave him a quick rundown, and that's when he was tearing up, and she was like, you want to hold her?
Yeah. He was like, oh, gosh, yes. She's getting dedicated this Sunday, so we're excited about that. Her name is Faith Diane. Diane is my birth mother who passed away when I was younger, and Faith is because we kept the faith the entire time.
she was saying, you just got to hold that faith. And
Yeah.
like, there is a plan for you. There is a plan for someone out there with adoption.
And waiting may be the hardest part, but it's also going to be the important part when miracles happen. So don't give up.